Stop trying to overcome objections. Oh, I know. Forever, conventional sales training has suggested so many myths that contribute to the negative stereotype of salespeople, and trying to use someone's rebuttal script that you saw or bought on the internet to overcome an objection actually results in more resistance. Because let me ask you, when does telling someone that they're wrong ever change someone's mind? Are you married or in a relationship? You know what I mean then, right? But really, have you ever used some of those goofy objection rebuttal techniques like the feel, felt, found? Oh yeah, that changes minds every time and causes prospects to say, oh, well, yeah, where do I sign? So then, what should we do? Well, the best way to deal with objections is to prevent them. Don't bring up things about your product or your service or what you want to do before you understand what they want or might be interested in. Think about it. People rarely object to mentions of results that they likely want, but they can and usually do object to products or services. Now, of course, in the real world, we still do get resistance and real objections, which are two different things, by the way, and should be treated differently. I cover that elsewhere. But for the real objections that we do hear, the first words represent a symptom of the problem, not the problem itself. But the problem is too many salespeople address the symptom, which you could try all day long, and the real problem is still going to be there. It would be like telling your doctor that you've got a splitting headache, and he replies that you need brain surgery. What? He doesn't even know the problem yet. So the actual process first involves finding out the real problem. We let them know that we're not going to argue with them. We soften them with something like, oh, I see, not a problem, or let's talk about that. Then we try to get them to explain the why behind what they just said. When you say, I can't justify the allocation of resources, what exactly do you mean? After more questions and zeroing in on the reason for their belief, then we chip away at it with more questions. Here's an important point. In order to get someone to change their mind, they must first go through a process where they doubt their belief. Think about a strong belief you have, whether it be political, social, sports, values, or otherwise. If someone just told you your belief was not right and you should think like them, what would you do? Well, exactly what prospects and customers do. They resist more. The only way you'll ever change your mind about the belief is if you first go through a process where you think, maybe there is another way to look at it. And you've probably done this in normal conversations with a friend or family member where you got them to say, well, you know, good point. I never really thought about it that way before. Now, of course, we do that through more questions. So let me ask you, would you rather try to overcome objections and tell someone they're wrong, creating an uncomfortable adversarial argument? Or would you like to pull your chair over to their side of the table and have a relaxed conversation and help someone to see a possible alternative to their belief? If that's you, I want to help with a no-cost, in-depth webinar training on this. For a couple of years, I've sold a webinar training on objections and resistance. It goes into detail on the process that I just explained and a lot more with plenty of word-for-word examples. Plus, I share other how-tos on early resistance and dealing with price and more. And I've just updated and re-recorded it with even more how-tos. I've decided to offer it free so more sales pros can benefit. Plus, I'll give you the transcript so you can have all the messaging written out for you. There's no credit card required, no upsells, just pure value. So go to smartcalling.training/objections.